Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of the John Doe Review. My name is Danielle. John Doe, obviously, you got it. And I got this little mic on me, except it's not on me if you're watching this. It's actually in my hand. So who knows, the audio might be all over the place, depending on where I'm putting my hand. So I'm going to try to be mindful of that. And then also, if you're watching this, you'll see the setup is very different today. I'm in my little dining area in our house instead of our room because honestly, I just really didn't feel like filming this episode today. I haven't had the best week. Okay, and that's being dramatic. It's not like the world's ending. And I had work this morning, and then I had a doctor's appointment, and then I came home because I was really tired because I haven't been sleeping well because Hunter has been on a work trip all week, and I have allowed myself to become codependent in terms of sleep, and I don't sleep as good when he's not home. So I haven't been sleeping good all week. And so I took a nap, and then now I'm here after my nap, and I think it's just easier to sit in a chair. I'm in a kitchen chair versus sitting on my very squishy bed and having to set my phone up on a tripod. So here we are. All right, let's get into the topics. Topic 1 on why I'm not having the best time. I accidentally told my boss that their breath stinks. Okay. And I bet you're wondering, how was that an accident? We'll get into it, right? We'll get into it. Next topic, cracking the fuck out of my phone. Okay, pardon my language. The fuck out of my phone. And how that caused my first stupid mix-up at work. And it was my first oopsie at work, and I hate that. Hopefully it's my last. I get it, I'm human, I'm trying to not spiral. And then lastly, the topic to close this, I'm assuming, sort of short episode out. Getting told by someone older than me that they thought I was older than them. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's get into story 1. So, how I accidentally told my boss their breath stinks. It's me and 2 of my coworkers / friends chilling in our office towards the end of the day. And the same boss, if you've been keeping up with the John Doe Review, the same boss who I got scammed thinking I was texting them to buy gift cards. It was that same person. Yeah. And they know about that now. They're aware that I'm a dumbass, apparently. And so they stop by our office and, they're saying goodbye. Like, hey, it was nice seeing y'all, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yeah. And they go, yeah, the water tastes kind of funky today. Like, it just has like a sour flavor to it. And so then me and my coworkers were like, whoa, like, what the hell? And then my other coworker was like, well, I got water from that same jug today and it tasted fine. So then we start discussing like, oh, it was probably the cup. Like cause they used a cup that is from like our community dishes. And maybe somebody just like didn't wash the soap out of it enough or something. Anyway, so we're discussing the cup. And so I turn to them and go, yeah, like, maybe you should just brush your teeth. And it's, look, here's my reasoning and here's my intent, okay, before I get sent to jail. I was saying that in the sense of, that Kelly Osbourne thing where it's like, who's going to scrub your toilets, Donald Trump? And then she's like, wait, in the sense. No, I said maybe you should brush your teeth. Maybe you should brush your teeth in the sense that you don't know what you just like put in your mouth. You're saying it was sour? I'd be freaking out. What sour thing from that cup is now in your mouth? Go brush your teeth. But what I realized afterwards, because my coworkers were like, Danielle, do you realize how that came off? Is they clearly took it as me insinuating that maybe the water's sour because like their breath stinks or like something in their mouth is stinky and sour. And so I didn't clock it though, because like they kind of just stared and were like, no, like I think it's the cup. And I didn't clock. Anyways, so they leave not too long after that, and my coworkers were like, Danielle, do you realize how that came up? And I was like, fuck. And I was like, oh my God, they probably hate me. Like, this person probably thinks, one, I'm an idiot and will just buy gift cards for anybody with no questioning. And now they think that I'm just okay with telling bitches that their breath stinks. Oh, yeah. It's like I'm trying to get fired. And then I told my manager, I think it was in the staff meeting I think that happened on a Friday, and then our staff meeting was on a Monday. And I told the staff like, oh yeah, I accidentally told, you know who, that their breath stinks on accident, though I didn't mean it like that. And my manager was like, just stop while you're ahead, Danielle. And I was like, you're right. I'll turn in my resignation by 4:00 today. If you ever end up watching this, you know who you are. I didn't think your breath stinks. I've never smelled your breath before. And I bet you have great oral hygiene. And I was just recommending, a step to maybe I should have said maybe rinse your mouth out of that water, whatever. How could I have worded that? Ooh, I wonder what that was that you tasted. Maybe you should rinse your mouth out. I feel like that still sounds like I'm saying your breath is stinky. Okay, I'm not going to dwell on it because shout out my coworkers who were in the room. They laughed because they understood what I was trying to say. And I think that's what let them know that I wasn't like insulting them. I hope, y'all. I'll let you know by next episode if I'm out of a job. On to our next topic already. Cracking the fork. The fork out of my phone. Spoiler alert, it's fine now. Anyways, I was letting the dogs out. Said dog right here is why I ended up dropping it. If you're watching this, I'm showing Ash. He's still in a cone. We're dealing with allergies, okay? I think he'll be deconed soon. I was letting the dogs in from using the bathroom after they ate dinner. And so I go out there, Ember, our other dog, who she's so sweet. Ember, you want to come say hi to the pod? This is, oh, she's coming around. That's Ember. And then we got 2 cats. But Ember, like, she always comes no matter what. Like, you say come, and she's like, okay. And she hobbles over and she sits, or she gets excited or whatever. And like, she does her own thing. Ash. If I say, Ash, come. Okay, before it used to be nothing. We're in the process of training him to be better. Now it's like most of the time he'll come over. But sometimes he's on his own timeline. He sees you and he's just like, girl, I'm sniffing this dookie pile over here. So I'm not trying to come over right now because I got something I'm busy with. And so I see him doing his thing in the corner of the yard. So I'm like, okay, let me go get him. And then he gets excited because he thinks I'm trying to play with him. So I'm like, okay. And then we're like, and we're like, I'm hyping him up. And then I'm like, okay, inside. And so he runs. Oh, Ember thinks I'm trying to play. And so then he runs to the door and I'm running behind him and I have my phone in my hand and it slips out of my hand at an angle, with one of the edges of the screen facing down, and then smacks into the cobblestone. I can show we have cobblestone right there, and bricks, but it smacked, my camera work. It smacked into the cobblestone right there, and completely shattered my screen, and also like KO'd the phone. The entire screen on my phone was white. And white to the maximum brightness that I don't even think is a setting on the phone. My phone has never been that bright. The whole screen was white and unresponsive. I could talk to Siri though, and I did have Siri FaceTime my husband. And he answers and I'm like, you're not allowed to leave ever again because just dumb shit. Last time you left, it was the roaches, and this time I just demolished my phone. And so obviously he starts laughing and he's like, oh, and he's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I wish I could be there. And I'm like, but you're not and whatever. And so then I look at my, I almost said I look at my phone. I don't look at my phone. I have to grab my iPad, my freaking 12-inch screen iPad. So I'm like a freaking iPad kid. And I open up Apple Maps because I'm like, okay, what's so crazy is a couple of weeks ago, I was debating canceling my Apple Care on my phone. Thank God I didn't. And so I'm like, oh, this is fine. Okay, I could just go to Apple and like get this shit fixed right now and it won't be a lot of money. I pull up Maps and it says Apple is closing soon. I see that Apple closes at 8:00. Okay, sun's still out. So I'm like, okay, it can't be that late. Little did I know, yeah, we're getting into the summer. The sun, right now, it's like 4 something, and the sun's gonna be out probably until close to 9 at this point. But I wasn't thinking. I still had hope, okay? I was naive. And I was like, oh, they close at 8, perfect. I checked my watch. 7:47. 7:47. You wanna know how far the Apple store is from my house? 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Yeah. So it wasn't going to happen that day. And then the Apple store didn't open until 10 a.m. the next day. So I'm freaking out, okay? And you want to know why I'm freaking out? I'm going to be vulnerable, okay? I'm 26. I don't know how to get anywhere without a GPS, okay? And you know what? I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed, okay? I was going to try to defend myself. I can't get anywhere without a GPS. I've been working at my job for almost 3 months. I still use a GPS to go there and come home every single day. Every single day. I'm going to blame it to, divert accountability. I'm going to blame it on my aphantasia. And if you didn't know what aphantasia is, I didn't know what it was until college. It's when you can't imagine things in your mind. And I thought that was normal. Okay, so I guess that's another topic. I have aphantasia. And I thought when people said like I was in theater in high school and we would do shit that was like, close your eyes and like imagine yourself on a beach and yada, yada. And I'd go through the motions and everything, but in my mind, I always thought like, this is so funny because like we're all seeing nothing, but like we're kind of just like pretending, like for the bit, because imagination and whatnot. And then I grew up and realized no, like people can actually imagine things in their head. Like if you close your eyes and you visualize like, I don't know, if you visualize your first car, you can think of it in your head and what it looks like and blah blah blah. I can't do that. I can't. Yeah, no. I can like remember concepts, but if we're talking about like a visual in my mind, no. And that's why like I'm a big reader, and I always wondered why people would say like, oh, it's like a movie is playing in my mind. Excuse the dogs. It's like a movie is playing in my mind when I read a book. That's not me. For me, when I read books, I love it because when people find out I have aphantasia and I love reading, they're like, what? But like the reason I like reading is because it's like a movie. It's not like a movie for me. It's more like a really intense audiobook, and it's like I feel everything like emotionally. But in regards to like visual stuff, no. Like, like when they make a book into a live action thing and people are like, oh my God, Tommy looks just like how I imagined him in the book. Yeah, no. I read the character descriptions and then they kind of go out my head and then I don't really think about what they look like ever again. Yeah, so that's me. And maybe one of you out there who didn't realize you had aphantasia and can relate to what I'm saying, hey, you have aphantasia. Back to the main point, though, I'm going to blame the reason I'm so bad at navigating places off of that, because people will be like, oh, that one street right next to the Walmart, and then around the corner is the yada yada, and then if you hang a left at the park bench, I can't imagine. I can imagine a road, sort of, but if you're talking about specifics, nope, yeah. And so this is a fault of mine. If anything, I will admit this is my fatal flaw, okay, so don't give me a map and don't let me navigate for you ever. So how I got to work is I charged my iPad, preloaded the route onto it, and then drove to work having to navigate that. And I was hoping when I connected my phone to Apple CarPlay that it would still pop up that screen in my car. No, would not register it. On the plus side though, it could connect to Bluetooth, so I was able to jam out on my way to work. Okay, I didn't have to jam in silence. I did pretty good. I got all the way to the last exit And then I think I read the map wrong, and I thought it was the next exit, but it was actually that first exit. And then once I passed that first exit, I was like, ooh, Danielle, you just made a mistake. I think that's the exit we've taken every single day since we started this job. And so I missed the exit, and then I made a right. And then anyways, long story short, I was able to, like, my iPad was using my phone's GPS to, like, show me where I was on the map, even though it couldn't tell me, like, what instructions to get to the office were. And so I realized I went in the wrong direction for like 6 or 7 minutes. Yeah. And so then I was able to pull over, look at the map, look at the street names, and then kind of just go from there. And y'all, I was navigating. I felt like a fucking pirate, you know? And the wind is blowing east, and that says Travis Street, so I think I need to make a left. So I was able to make it to work. I was 20 minutes late. Because not only did I mess up there, but it wasn't like I realized I went in the wrong direction for a couple of minutes and then like immediately was on the right route on the way back. No, it took a couple of tries and a couple of U-turns, but I got there. I didn't get in trouble because only a couple of people saw my carcass of a phone just laying there, bright as hell, all white, just every time I flipped my phone over and the screen came on, it was just I'm sorry. The dogs didn't like that. Anyways, how we got past that was I scheduled, shout out my brother who's like, Danielle, because he worked at Apple for years. He was like, you need to schedule your appointment for tomorrow today, because people think they can do it on their lunch break and then they realize they're stuck there for hours. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right, because that would have been me, because my plan was to go fix it on my lunch break. So I scheduled my appointment. I went there and got my phone fixed, came back, and then the disorder of my life from that morning made me misinterpret a work time thing, and I was late to something, and it genuinely, it wasn't a big deal. Nothing was impacted by it because I was able to get there like within reason and like help lead and finish and you know, like wrap up everything we were doing. And like no one was mad. You know, like the people that I was working with directly with that day were like, oh yeah, we were fine. Like, you're good. Like, it's okay. And I know, Ash, I was upset too. If you know me, you know, one, I hate being late to things. And two, I hate making really stupid mistakes. Like really dumb mistakes in the sense of like, I looked at a time multiple times in the same day and like misread it. But anyways, I crashed out about that. At least my phone was fixed. Shout out Apple though, because when I got it fixed, my case also was like demolished. It was like cracked all in the back and everything. And when I went to pick up my phone from the repair, they were like fixing it. And I saw on the table that there was an iPhone case. And I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max and they don't sell those cases in stores. And I didn't have time to like go look for a case that day. But I hate having my phone raw. I don't know how you guys walk around with your phone raw. And so I look at the worker, and it's like a little floral case. I look at the worker, and I was like, did somebody forget their case? And he was like, looks like it. And I go, will I get in trouble if I take that case? And he's like, finders keepers. And he hands me an alcohol wipe. And so, like, what are the odds that I'm able to pick up my phone really fast. It only took an hour. And by the off random chance, somebody with my exact phone model forgot a case that I don't mind. It's a cute little floral case that wasn't in awful condition. And I just, wiped out the little dust and dirt or whatever. And now I have a phone case for free. And if you're like, oh my God, Danielle, you should have just bought a phone case. That's the mindset I'm in this week, okay? Beggars can't be choosers. Okay, I'll take what I can get. But I had my little work slip up and that day finished and I was like, okay. And then and shout out my sister-in-law though, because she went with me to go view a house, because I was going to view a house by myself, because again, Hunter's away at work right now, but we're like interested in this one house because we're moving. And so I had a buddy to go, but then things got worse because I love the layout of this house. It's so unique. It has so much character in it. but the doors and the windows are like not sealed, like at all. There's like huge cracks, and then the doors are like floating in their frames. So like heat's coming in pretty easily. So our electricity bill would be like through the roof, and there'd probably be bugs that easily get in. And so I like talked to our realtor, and I was like, oh, do you think, like if they fix this, like we're willing to put an application in, and we haven't heard back yet, but I hope they are willing to fix it, because like, what the fuck? You just expect somebody to come into a house where like everything's leaking heat inside or cold air inside or bugs? Yeah, no. But I love the character of the house. Like I've never been in a house and like immediately fallen in love with the way it's like designed. And there's like a little loft area, and and then that was yesterday. And my sister-in-law came over, and we like hung out and had a good time, and I love her. So she made up my day. And then we're here today, and I worked and I went to a doctor's appointment, and yeah. And while I was at work, I was having a conversation with one of our like artists that we work with. And we got around to, one of them asked me like, are you married? And I was like, oh yeah, I am. They looked at my ring. They were like, oh, it's so cool. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. And we got around to age, and I said, yeah, I'm 26 and blah, 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 blah. And the other people said their ages. And one of them was like, yeah, I thought you were older than me, because she's older than me. And I was like, oh, yeah, I bet you did. Y'all. Because, and you know what? Maybe I do look 30 now, but I feel like I look like a damn good 30. Okay. And yeah, those are all the topics I have for y'all. Hey y'all, editing Danielle here. The audio's gonna sound like ass because I didn't feel like getting my mic out, but I did just lie. There's something I forgot to mention while I spoke about that chunk of topics. When me and my sister-in-law were hanging out, we did watch Jennifer's Body. Here's my beef, okay? As a somewhat movie connoisseur. I don't know why I said it like that. I actually think I just said it wrong. Anyways, we're gonna move on. That movie was clearly made for people who just want to watch Megan Fox make out with various individuals, including Amanda. I can't remember her last name. I think it starts with an S. Is it Seyfried? I'm definitely saying that wrong. Yeah, plot didn't make sense. Lore barely made sense. And I didn't really like any of the characters. Also, it gave, like, we're trying to do horror comedy, but, like, sometimes we'd really try to lean into the horror, but, like, it didn't land. And then sometimes we'd really try to lean into the comedy, and it also, like, didn't really land. Yeah, I don't understand why people consider it a cult classic. I think if you consider it a cult classic, I just think you're horny. I think you're horny and you think Megan Fox is hot. Which, like, she is, but, like, anyways, let's wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed. We're at the end of the episode, so I have to give the last 2 weeks of my life a rating out of 5 stars. I bet you're so excited. I bet you're like, this sounds like the best 2 weeks ever. 1 star. 1 star for sure. Would have been 0, but shout out Apple Care. Shout out my sister-in-law. Shout out my will to live still being here. And I will see you in the next 2 weeks. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, do all the things. And I will, Ash is barking in the backyard. I gotta go. I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye.